Hello everybody and welcome to another video of Green Square Talks Battlebots, and in this video we'll be talking about fight card number 3 of my fantasy tournament. This fight card will be released this upcoming Tuesday both onto my Instagram, so check out in the Green Square if you don't already, along with be released on the Facebook group where you can vote for whoever you think would win these fights here. In this video we will be discussing each one of these fights, and my co-hosts Porinog and Civilian Arc and we will all vote on these things. So how are you all doing?
Pretty good. Pretty good.
Pretty decent. Pretty decent.
That's awesome to hear.
So
yeah, in this fight card, I look at that main event. That's another terrific BattleBots and Robot Wars face-off here, as we had Carbide and Minotaur in the first card. We got Behemoth and Black Dragon and this one for the main event. That would be another fantastic face-off that I would like to see, but we will get to that one at the end. So for the first fight here, we got Final Destiny and Bronco. Final Destiny, if you don't know who that was a super heavyweight in Series 5 of BattleBots Comedy Central. That horizontal spinner was well known for its destructive power, as it did decimate quite a few of their opponents, but then didn't go their way when they went up against Dissector and their lifter. So they are up against Bronco, whom I don't think we will be seeing in BattleBots 2020, but we will be seeing them in the bounty thing that BattleBots is talking about. So, Civilian Arc and Porinog, you two got any thoughts on this one?
Pori, you want to go first?
Yeah, okay. You know what? We're gonna first go the hot take route and then the realistic route. Okay, first, I mean, Bronco's obviously probably gonna win this because Final Destiny has design flaws to it with the skirts that come up with like no effort pretty much. Like all he really needs to do is do what like T minus did the hazard where it's like flips up the wedge skirt and he like gets caught pretty much. But at the same time, I do wonder, like, is Bronco going to be aggressive in this? Because we have seen that Bronco, they kind of have a history of, like, being very cowardice with their driving. I don't know if that sounds mean or not, but, like, when they fought
probably be, like, cautious is kind of like what you're saying by that.
Yeah, like even back in the Comedy Central era, like, when Toro fought Frisbee Ultimate, like...
Yes.
The like 90% of that fight was it running away from Frisbee pretty much. And it flipped Frisbee at like the last second, but it lost the fight because it was running away the whole time. And Bronco was kind of had the same way. Like even when it fought like huge, it was kind of like driving away from it. And when it fights like a spinner, it's had a habit of like just like trying to push its wedge on the back into like the robot's face and not really just trying to be like, all right, screw it, I'm gonna flip this thing in the air. But I still think that Bronco would probably win.
All right. You got anything you want to say, Civilian?
Well, yeah. Final Destiny lost by its like wedge skirt getting stuck with its blade and then just basically exploding. And that was Comedy Central era. Now we're talking about a bot that is a decade younger and then the Comedy Central era has much better like lifting motors and stuff like that, so it could like flip to 10 times more than Dissector could. So can't really see a way Final Destiny could really win. I'm sure Bronco would be a little anxious in fighting Final Destiny, as it's anxious against literally every spinner in existence. But in the end, I can see Bronco taking this with ease.
Yeah, I kind of feel like this is one fight where Bronco would probably come in with that back wedge edge that they use for horizontal spinners. They used it for drum spinners back in 2016. I imagine this is one they would probably use to try to take a hit from Final Destiny, knowing that spinner still don't know how much power it would have like around this time, but you never know. It could break some stuff on Bronco if Bronco is not careful. Yeah. I feel like what Bronco would probably do is try and lead in with that back wedge, try and take a hit from there, and then if they're lucky, possibly catch Final Destiny right on their wedge, and then they got an opportunity for a flip and flip them over. And yeah, Dissector exposed was in Final Destiny's loss and exit from that tournament that they can't self-right there.
Yeah, I also think configuration wise, they probably will take a page from the Dissector handbook and like add an extension on the flipper, kind of what they did when they fought Tombstone. I feel like that would be a wise
Stinger
decision. I feel like they'd do that.
Yeah, maybe Stinger as well, but yeah, I
Yeah.
completely agree with that. You guys got anything else you want to say, or should we put this one to a vote?
Say
I'm
vote.
ready to vote.
Yeah.
All right, I'll go with the first vote, and I will be voting Bronco for this one. I think they will win this in less than a minute.
Yeah, Bronco.
Bronco.
All right, yeah, unanimous in favor of Bronco. Next up, we got Nightmare and Perfect Phoenix. Now, as Nightmare, we saw them in a untelevised fight against Mammoth where they managed to win a shot. Ooh, we got a tiny Nightmare from Porinog there. Here, Porinog, can you speak and show that off, since we can only see one person at a time when recording this.
Yeah. This is little Nightmare mini bot.
Perfect. And then, Perfect Phoenix, we saw them in episode 2 where they took on Extinguisher and won that thing in one shot.
Yeah.
So
I cried.
Yeah, same here. So you guys got something you want to say about this fight?
I will say that while it does look like Perfect Phoenix might be able to beat Nightmare, I will say, like, as I said in the episode 2 review, Perfect Phoenix is a little bit unproven right now, and we don't know how fully destructive that weapon is yet. We don't know if it could be able to take out Nightmare or not, because Nightmare is usually reliable, at least in its internals. It might not be reliable in self-writing or stuff like that, but at the very least, it's reliable in other categories.
That is very true.
My question is, can Perfect Phoenix self-write? I don't know if it can.
That is a very good question. I am not sure if they can or not.
It doesn't look like they have a self-writing mechanism on them.
Yeah, I don't know if maybe the blade can like spin up and like it'll kind of work itself over. I'm leaning towards no, but like if Nightmare like snagged an edge good enough and like got to flip it, and like they could win this.
Yeah. Something though we would have to watch if these two were ever to meet. Perfect Phoenix, I feel like knowing what that design has done, like there was Hazard and Comedy Central, there was I believe Brutality, is that correct?
Yeah. Perfect Phoenix is Brutality, yeah.
Brutality, and they had some very destructive power to it. I imagine Perfect Phoenix has something similar to that, has some sort of similar power to that. Mm-hmm. If they got to like the sides of Nightmare, they could possibly rip off a wheel like what Son of Waiachi and Warhead were both able to do in like the Comedy Central era.
Yeah.
Kind of like how I feel like this fight would go. I feel like we would see a weapon-on-weapon collision similar to what we saw when Nightmare took on Ice Wave back in Battlebots 2016. But I like the driving of Perfect Phoenix. He might be 11 years old, but he is a terrific driver. He successfully managed to evade the box rush Extinguisher attempted on him, and as well in Battlebots 2018, he and his driving skills got him to 3rd place in that competition, which is amazing. So now, you two have anything else you want to say about this one, or should we put this one to a vote as well?
Well, Well, I definitely like while I am playing a devil's advocate for Nightmare, I do think that Perfect Phoenix definitely has this. They are unproven, but at the same time, it is a former championship bot built by Paul Ventimiglia and fixed up by Ray Billing. So it's not like it. So it definitely has like credential to it, and also Tyler Doom Kid, he's an excellent driver on top of that.
Anything else you want to say, Civilian?
Nope, I'm ready to vote.
All right, you want to go first, Civilian?
Yeah, I'm gonna go with Perfect Phoenix just because it looks low enough to not get hit by Nightmare's spinner. So I'm gonna go with Perfect Phoenix by knockout in the second half of the match, like in the last 90 seconds.
Yeah, that's about where I am too. A Perfect Phoenix.
Yeah, I'm gonna go Perfect Phoenix by knockout, but yeah, I did not think of that Perfect Phoenix might be low enough to the ground where they might be able to evade Nightmare's spinner. Don't know if that's true or not, but
Nightmare, they
that
can
could be
adjust the height of Nightmare.
that's good to know as well.
Yeah.
All right, so fight number 3, we have Tornado and War Easy. We got Tornado. If we go based off of like Robot Wars Series 7, they had 4 configurations for that season. They had the drum spinner, like what we see in that image there. They had a really low to the ground wedge. They had an electric powered lifter, and a 4th one, which, as to my knowledge, was completely unknown. They're up against War Easy here. We have not seen them yet, as
Hopefully we do this week.
I'm hoping we'll see them with that. I'm hoping we'll see them next episode or maybe the following one, as that design looks like it has a lot of potential.
Mm-hmm.
You guys got anything you want to say?
From what it looks like, it doesn't look like War Easy is very invertible. It doesn't look like it could handle getting like lifted and then flipped.
I think it has a self-rider on the back.
Oh, it does? All right.
I think so. I could be mistaken.
Just by rewatching Robot Wars in the last week or so, Tornado was a really good driver in the
Yes.
it like very terrific driving.
Yeah, I feel like they would go with either the wedge or the lifters. I don't think they would go with the drum spinner, knowing drums are not exactly the biggest fan of vertical spinners.
Yeah,
I feel with the cage.
There is that. Yeah, there was that from Series 6.
That razor fight.
Yeah.
Just show up with the cage. Who cares if it's just a vertical spinner? Oh, wow.
Oh, man, that would be hilarious. All right, so yeah, part of the big problem with like predicting a fight like this is that we haven't seen War Easy fight yet. We have seen some videos of them like in the test box yet, but we haven't seen them in action, which I'm hoping we'll see them soon, as I like that design. Looks similar, or it looks like it's a winning design. But yeah, we haven't seen that yet. I'm hoping we'll see that in the next episode, or yeah, within the next few.
Yeah, I feel like Tornado is probably like Tornado's pretty tanky too. I feel like it could take the hits from War Easy regardless of how good it is.
Yeah. Yeah, especially if like we're talking like Series 7 or something like that. Their only loss was a judge's decision, I believe, as yeah, that thing is quite durable.
Yeah.
Yeah, Tornado was probably top 5 best in classic Robot Wars, in my opinion.
Oh yeah, I could definitely agree with that. As Tornado was a great bot back then. You guys got anything else you want to say, or should we put this one to a vote?
Put it to a vote.
What do you think, Pori?
Are we talking? Okay, so it's Tornado. It's like, like 15 years since it's actually competed, if not more. Are we like talking a Tornado that's from like and it's using like a modern frame, modern metal.
Probably back then, as yeah, we don't know exactly like how they would improve it and stuff like that, which is
Yeah, but like I'm just saying,
Yeah.
like, but just like a rough estimate of like would they have modified it to be competitive today, or is it just like, are we talking 2003 Tornado?
I think it's just 2003 Tornado probably is what we're talking about.
probably.
I think I'm gonna go with War Easy then, because I feel like while Tornado was durable, if it's a 2003 robot, it probably would get knocked out by like a modern day vertical spinner. But if it's like on the other hand, if it's like Tornado, but it's 2020 Tornado, I feel like they would have it. So I'm gonna go with War Easy.
Okay.
I'm gonna go with okay, so this is tough because just there hasn't been a lot of Tornado in the past years, and War Easy has been very, I don't know much about War Easy, but from what it looks like, War Easy does not look very low to the ground. So with that, I'm gonna say Tornado will win by a judge's decision.
Yeah, I'm gonna agree that that thing will go to the judges, especially if Tornado goes with like their low to the ground wedge. Don't know if War Easy has like wedgelets or something like that. I imagine they would probably have some sort of plan or configuration for like flipper bots or something like that, or
They
vertical spinners too. But yeah, we don't know that for sure yet. I think I'm gonna go War Easy for this one, but I'm gonna agree with Civilian that I think it'll go the full 3 minutes for this one. I'm going to vote War Easy by a judge's decision.
Also, Tornado did nothing wrong.
Yeah. All right, so fight number 4, we have Chomp and Petunia. We got Chomp, where we have not seen them yet, but they appear to be in the next episode, be in episode 4 of Battlebots 2020, which I am very much looking forward. This is one of the bots I was looking most forward to coming into this new season of Battlebots, as they are a walker this season. And if you haven't seen any of Chomp's posts yet, walkers get a bonus doubling their weight limit. So that they are a 500-pound robot coming into the arena this coming Thursday.
I have to ask, how are they gonna even carry Chomp to the arena? Like, how is this gonna happen?
It's like a pallet jack.
Yeah, that's a good
It's literally on a pallet jack.
They are up against Petunia, and this is my opinion, but out of the many competitors in this field here, I think Chomp is one of the worst possible opponents for Petunia out of this field. No disrespect to them, but I think Chomp is one of the most challenging opponents for
Any
Petunia.
control bot is going to have a really hard time with Chomp.
Yeah. So you guys got any thoughts on this one?
I think that Petunia will probably beat Chomp on driving, but I'm not really sure how Petunia is going to be able to get to Chomp and not take any damage, or because this is a 500-pound robot we're talking about, and Petunia's never been good at like chomping on a robot and then taking it wherever it wants to go. It usually has some kind of struggle of like pushing it somewhere before it actually does that. So
the geometry makes it really difficult to
get
a good bite in.
Yeah, I feel like what Petunia is probably going to do is probably go for those side panels, because I don't see them going head on or to Chomp's backside and being able to successfully get a bite. I think the only places they can really successfully get a bite on Chomp is those side panels. And even they probably wouldn't be able to, even though I think they are the faster and more maneuverable bot here, and I think they would be able to get to those sides, Chomp can adjust that hammer so that way they could strike Petunia from like any place that Petunia tries to grab a hold of them. So I think that will just give Petunia a very hard time.
Yeah. think that I don't see how Petunia can do it because the whole shtick of Petunia is for it to. Well, first off, it can't really crush too well because of the geometry I mentioned before. But like also, its other shtick would be grab the robot and like take it to the hazards, drive it around, slam it into the box. And can it do that with a 500-pound behemoth? So
Yeah.
basically, it can go up to Chomp. It can grab onto the sides, but then Chomp just rotates the hammer around and gets hits in. And as we've seen just from the like 5 seconds of footage, the hammer operator was very accurate with it. Like when it was with Ghost Raptor, it was going around with it, like following it pretty well. But then on the other hand, is Chomp gonna have teething troubles? Because it's a very complicated machine. Like there's a lot going on under the hood that could go wrong.
Oh yeah.
But then again, if Petunia is able to get to the sides and like chomp on, well, no pun intended, but it's able to take chomp on Chomp, will Chomp's hammer be like lengthy, like be small enough in length to actually hit Petunia when they're actually biting on Chomp? Because Chomp's hammer might actually be too long to actually hit Petunia while Petunia is biting on Chomp.
That's a very good question. Yeah, I'm not sure about that answer.
They might plan ahead of time for that though. They might think like, oh, this thing's gonna try to grab onto me at a shorter hammer so I can like hit it easier.
Kind of like what Huge did with the Gigabyte and Ice Wave, where they have blades of multiple size, and they were able to figure out exactly which blade would do the most damage. Chomp basically with their hammer instead of a vertical spinner there.
Yeah, I agree. That's pretty much what I'm thinking. It's like they could add like a shorter hammer, and they probably do have other hammer configurations for phones. Like if they get Kraken, if they have a rematch with Kraken, I bet there's like a shorter hammer for if Kraken grabs onto the side this season.
Agreed. You guys got anything else you want to say, or should we put this one to a vote?
I'm ready to vote.
Yeah, I'm ready.
Sorry, I'll start this one. I think Chomp is going to win this in a judge's decision. I feel I'm going to explain each part here. I think Chomp would just shut Petunia out on the damage side, as I hear that those side panels are very strong in defense. I'm not sure if Petunia has like the power to get through those, but I could be very wrong about that. Yeah, I think Chomp will just shut out Petunia on the damage side. Aggression side, I think that's just going to be the other way around. I think Petunia will shut out Chomp on that, as they are a lot faster, a lot more maneuverable, and I feel like they are going to be doing like the hunting part in this fight, trying to get at Chomp from the right angle. And then the control area, that's a difficult one to figure out here, as Petunia's strategy would kind of be showing like they could be doing the control part, but then Chomp hitting them with the hammer could also be some control in there. I think Petunia would probably win the control section, but I think Chomp would probably get some points out of that, giving them the victory by judge's decision. So I think Chomp will win this. I think Chomp would win this one, but in a very close judge's decision.
That's what I think too. I think Chomp would win in the judge's decision, and if you look at the cards, they'd all be super close. And for some reason, Derek would vote for Petunia, and
I could see that.
I love Derek, and I love the complete control of it.
Yeah.
I'm gonna say Chomp in judge's decision, but like a very close one. I actually think Chomp will win. I don't think it'll be a close judge's decision, at least for my vote. I actually think Chomp would win on control, because I don't think Petunia's drive is powerful enough to even do anything control-wise, just bite on Chomp, which would count more as like damage points than control points. So I'm going to say Chomp by unanimous decision.
Okay. So next up we got Cobalt and Mammoth. Cobalt, they were originally planning on returning for Battlebots 2020, but then ended up sitting out due to COVID reasons. They were up against Mammoth, which I have two parts from them. Got to show those off, because why not? Yep. Two chest plates over near the weapon area is what those things were. As yeah, very excited to have gained those things. Don't know what fight they're from, as that's unknown even to the team there. We saw Mammoth win their first fight against Huge, and now they're up against Cobalt in this one. This would Huge is one thing, Cobalt's definitely another thing for Mammoth to go up against. Thoughts on this?
Cobalt would kill Mammoth. like I love Mammoth, and they've definitely had a glow up this year. Like they're insane this year. Like the performance against Huge was fantastic, but Cobalt could kill it.
Yeah,
oh man.
This would definitely be a fight for low ground, and I just don't see any way Mammoth could win a wedge on wedge battle. Mammoth does not have that much ground. It feels like Mammoth has a lot of ground clearance, especially with its two-wheel drive. That makes it a little problematic. So I think Cobalt would easily be able to get under Mammoth.
Yeah.
Yeah, what I'll probably say is I see one of two outcomes happening. I see one outcome being Mammoth gets a quick flip on Cobalt and wins the fight that way. Or I see Cobalt getting to the sides of Mammoth or getting underneath them from the front and just destroying them with that spinner. Yeah, I feel like either way, no matter who wins this one, I think this would probably be a knockout in probably less than a minute.
Yeah. I feel like if Cobalt went near Mammoth, like whatever that blade's touching, it's gonna destroy it, and then Mammoth's gonna fall apart like a stack of Jenga pieces. And like, because they even said in the Huge fight, they were like, "Oh, if they had gotten all the way through the frame that they hit, like we would have fallen apart."
Yeah, Mammoth does not look. Mammoth, no offense to the team, but it does not look well armored at all.
And that's not what they're going for anyway.
Yeah, other than the parts that are quite bendy, like on the back side and over on the front, I feel like those might be able to take shots from Cobalt. But as for like the other frame parts, like majority of the parts that Huge hit, I think those are stuff that like Cobalt could easily slice through if Mammoth is not careful.
Yeah.
So then, you guys have anything else you want to say, or should we put this one to a vote?
No, I don't have anything else to say.
You want to start it off, Corey?
Yeah, Cobalt by KO in under a minute.
Cobalt,
Mammoth,
Cobalt by quickest KO in the competition.
I don't care who disagrees with this, whoever puts a message in the chat or gives a thumbs down on this video, but I am actually picking the upset on this one. I am actually going to pick Mammoth by a KO here. And I see Pori going nuts right now.
I respect it, you know.
Yeah, exactly. We respect each other's opinions here.
I think
Mammoth can pull it off here. I think they will definitely not come out unscathed in here, but I think they can take it.
Oh, they're gonna take it no matter what.
When I saw that they were fighting Huge, I was like, "Oh, Huge is gonna rip that thing apart," and then look what happened. So you could very well be right.
Yeah, that's exactly why. That's one of the reasons why I'm going with Mammoth on this one. But yeah, I'm expecting when I post this fight card, it's not gonna go in my favor. Or exactly with how I voted for this one.
Especially with how popular Cobalt is.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
All right. So next up, we got fight number 6 and another amazing Battlebots and Robot Wars face-off. If I had another main event out of everybody's first fights for this one, I would go with this one. Tombstone and Rapid we got Tombstone. They're Tombstone. Like they are very well known here. We got Rapid on the other side, one of the most powerful flippers in Robot Wars, and also the most expensive design. we saw them nearly toss Carbide out of the arena in Series 10. Yeah, they made the grand final and were in the top 6. I don't know exactly where in the top 6 they would be, but
You're up
yeah.
there.
So thoughts on this one?
Okay, so the real question is, if Tombstone wins this, will the guy behind Rapid give Ray Billings a job?
Yes.
That's what I need to know.
Oh
Yeah.
man.
Is Ray getting a
Well,
job out of this?
He might be.
I feel like the captain of Rapid would love to have Ray Billings there as a would love to hire Ray Billings for a job there. As Ray Billings
Yeah.
is so well known, like he's so knowledgeable and stuff like this. I feel like he would be great a employee for the captain of Rapid. Sorry, I don't remember what his name is.
I don't remember his name. I just
Yeah.
remember that he was offering anyone who could beat him a job.
Yeah.
That's all I remember. But with that said, I feel like it would be go to a judge's decision, but Tombstone would win because Tombstone would probably be wailing on the thing for 3 minutes.
Got anything, civilian?
Yeah, I think there's a main factor in this fight, and I don't think it's weapon. I don't think it's armor. I actually think it's home field advantage because this is Battlebots, not Robot Wars. And I don't think Rapid's flipper is strong enough to go to flip Tombstone out of the arena. I think plus between like a Robot Wars out of the arena, how you flip them out of the arena, and how you flip a Battlebot out of the arena, it seems like Battlebots arenas are much more lengthy than a Robot Wars arena. So and like Rapid's going to have to take a hit from Tombstone. The question is, can it survive that hit? Because we've seen Rapid does have a little unreliability issues.
Yeah, as I think Carbide got to, I want to say the battery area, but yeah, they got to the internals and caused a smoke screen, according to Professor Noel Shark. I can't remember how to
Sharky,
pronounce
yeah.
it. Yeah, caused a smoke screen in there. And yeah, that was very fun to watch. So yeah, I think Rapid's big strategy is like what you said, Civilian just going to try to get Tombstone out of the arena, but yeah, that's going to be very difficult, knowing Tombstone could very easily tear them apart and so on. I think that will give Rapid a big challenge, but I feel like they can scoop up Tombstone and stuff like that, kind of like what Gruff was at least aiming for, was trying to do here. And possibly get close to taking them out of the arena, if not all the way out of the arena. I think it's very possible for Rapid to take out Tombstone, but yeah, they would have to be very careful about this one.
They probably could be able to scoop Tombstone in, but the question is, would it take a hit in doing so, or would it be able to come out with a box rush, a quick enough box rush to stop Tombstone from getting up to top speed?
Yeah, that would definitely be a very good question. You guys got anything else you want to say, or should we put this one to a vote?
We're going to do a vote.
Civilian, you want to start this one off?
I don't want to vote against my favorite Robot Wars bot. I'm going to go with Tombstone by knockout.
I'm going to say that Ray Billings he's going to have a new job.
Excellent prediction for
Yes, excellent reference. Gotta give you credit for that. So, yeah, I'm going to go Tombstone in a knockout, but I think there's going to be less than 60 seconds on the clock before Rapid gets counted out in this one.
Yeah.
Yeah, I feel like Rapid will get a few good flips in on Tombstone, but I think Tombstone will win the fight by KO. All right, so then next up, we got the bonus fight. We got Ultimo Destructo and Bale Spear. We got Ultimo Destructo. We haven't seen them since Battlebots 2018. Now, as they were interchangeable weapon spot, we saw a horizontal spinner, we saw a hammer, we saw a flipper. as we were talking about this one earlier, we feel like they would go with the flipper design for this one, but of course we're not 100% sure, as we don't know what Sean would have on his mind for which configuration he would go with if they were paired up with Balespear or a similar opponent to them.
He gets
So
a
then,
DM from someone really random, like, "Hey, what would you use if you fought Balesphere?"
yeah. On the other side, we have Balespear, where we have not seen them yet as well. That looks like a very interesting design here. I feel like it could do some damage there, but of course that's a little unknown to me so far.
Yeah.
You guys got any thoughts on that one?
I don't.
But you go first.
I don't even understand what Veil Spear's supposed to do. What's its weapon?
It's a pneumatic spike.
Oh, like Comedy
think
Central era.
Yeah, I think it can go up and down too. I think it can like lift as well.
Oh, all right. But yeah, Ultimo Destructo. It shows a little bit of potential with its flipper. When it fought Parallax, I think, was the bot it fought with its flipper. It showed to have a few decent flips on it before
That decision was nonsense though. Like Parallax should have won that fight.
Yeah, I would agree with that. That I do think Parallax should have won that fight, but yeah, I could see why they pointed it towards Ultimo Destructo, knowing Parallax had some, I believe there were motor issues.
Ultimo was too, though. They
Yeah.
were kind of like
Ultimo
going slowly
Ultimo
back
was
and
also
forth.
having issues, and
It was like Abattoir at Las Vegas '99 all over again.
yeah, it was a relatively close fight, as to my knowledge. Yeah, if you don't know what we're talking about by that, Parallax and Ultimo Destructo fought on an untelevised fight, which I believe is up on YouTube.
It's on YouTube, yeah.
Yes. Yeah, feel free to check that out if you would like.
Argue with us in the comments.
Yeah. Yeah, I feel like it's not as controversial as a lot of the other decisions we have seen before, but that is one where I would probably go with Parallax if I was one of the judges, but still, it was relatively close.
I don't know. I'm gonna have to rewatch the fight again to see who should have won that.
Basically, Ultimo got like 2 flips in, and then Parallax hit it with its spinner like maybe like 5 times, and then the rest of the fight was like Parallax going in circles and Ultimo Destructo.
Yeah, they got flipped.
Cosplaying as Abattoir, going back and forth in the arena for no reason.
And then we saw Parallax having issues towards the end, and were smoking up quite badly, I believe, as to my knowledge. So, anything else you guys want to say about this one?
I feel like they definitely would use the flipper because horizontal wasn't very effective. The hammer wasn't very effective. The vertical, I don't even think passed safety because they did have a vertical spinner as well. But yeah, I think
didn't they have a configuration that could counter like full body spinners as well? I want to say I might be thinking of a different robot.
I'm not too sure, but didn't they have like a saw configuration? I think.
I don't know for sure. Or I don't know that. I don't know that completely to my knowledge.
We gotta research Ultimo Destructo's history.
Yeah.
But yeah, I feel like it would just like kind of flip Balesphere around the whole fight, and Balesphere, it would probably go to the judges. Ultimo Destructo would win by an ultimate decision, and then it would be a highlighted fight in the episode because it wouldn't make TV.
I will say though, when and if Ultimo shuts down and like loses half its drive or something in the fight, and if Balespear is still mobile, I think I cannot speak. I think Balespear could capitalize on that fight because Balespear, while it is not a great robot, it has shown to be fairly reliable in the past. It hasn't really had internal issues, just like external issues against fighting other bots. Like when it fought Valkyrie, it was hanging in there.
I mean, Balesphere got split in half by a lifter at a live event. So I mean, like it's like like a Krusty Krab who's kind of like Big Dill. It like fought Balesphere at Orlando Maker Fest, and it like lifted Balesphere, and Balesphere just like snapped in half like a Kit Kat.
So according to
the fight.
Battlebots wiki, Ultimo Destructo has an interchangeable set of weaponry that includes a flipper arm, a horizontal spinner blade, a hammer, and a fourth configuration that's meant to take on full body spinners, but was unable to be finished in time for Battlebots.
Well, at least it didn't.
And supposedly, and according to Battlebots wiki, right below, Ultimo Destructo didn't return for season 4 or season 5, mostly because John is planning on bringing a new bot called Bone Smasher, and it's unknown exactly what weaponry that thing would have or if it'll even be built and stuff like that.
He also, I think he changed the name from Bone Smasher. I think his planned robot was called Death Piggy. Something like that. But now that you mention it, like I feel like this fight would be closer than I think. And I do love Balesphere. They're like the local robot for me now because Sub-Zero ran away to Texas.
Yeah, either the Wyachis or Deep Six would be me, as they're closest to my location. So there are no robots over here in Iowa.
Yeah, for me it's either Balesphere, Pain Train, or Shatter, pretty much. And I'd have to go across state lines for any of them.
There has not been a BattleBot in Arizona since Mechavore, so.
Oh gosh.
Raptor. Well, I don't know if they live in Arizona anymore, but Team Raptor used to be based in Arizona.
Oh, were they?
Yeah. I don't know if they still are, because I mean this is based on 15 years ago.
All right, so yeah. I look forward to seeing Balesphere in the arena for the first time, as that is a very unique design, and of course we like seeing those things over in BattleBots, even though some of them may not work properly or do very well, but they are very fun to watch, and it's always fun to watch teams try out new types of designs like that, for example. And it's very different from the rest of the competitive field, which is quite interesting.
I, for one, am ready for Farmageddon, and I hope Balesphere gets a win.
Yeah.
Just one win, and I'll be happy.
You guys got anything else, or should we put this one to a vote?
Put it to a vote.
All right. Who wants to start this one?
I'll go.
Yeah.
I'm going to go with Ultimo by a split judge's decision. I think Balesphere will be more aggressive, and I think in the second half of the fight it will be more controlled, but I do think Ultimo will also win some control points and maybe a few aggression points. So overall, I think Ultimo will win a judge's decision, but a pretty close one.
It's about where I am. I'd say Ultimo on a split decision.
Yeah, I'm going to go Ultimo, but I'm actually going to say unanimous decision here. But I do think it will be a close one, as I believe Balesphere will be able to get like points in, and I think it will be like if we go based off of like the BattleBots 11-point scale, I think it would be like either 6-5 or 7-4 decision. I think it will be close.
Yeah.
All right, last one. We have the main event where we have Behemoth and Black Dragon. We saw Black Dragon fight once. We saw them take on Kraken in that one and win in a very close and to some people controversial judge's decision here.
Black Dragon did nothing wrong.
I personally do think Kraken won that fight, but it was very close. I am very happy that Black Dragon won that thing, as I think they definitely were worthy to win that fight, as it could very easily go Black Dragon's way.
I do think Black Dragon, between like Black Dragon versus Kraken and Rotator versus Beta, I think I agree with the Black Dragon and I agree with the Black Dragon Kraken decision a bit more, because I don't like the decision, but I can see it where they were coming from. Black Dragon did a lot of damage, and because of its design, it had equal aggression and basically, and Kraken had more control. So I can see how the judges decided Black Dragon.
Yeah, Black Dragon is, we saw, because like as of like the videos I've seen of them and their other competitions, along with their fights from this season and last season, at least that we've seen so far, they are like a very aggressive team. Like even when their bot was on fire against Texas Twister, they were just going right at Texas Twister, even without a spinning weapon, to try to get some points in. Yeah, when I talked with one of the team members there, they came they also explained this before their fight with Kraken. They have many different fronts for this one that they were able to come up with. I feel like they would go with their wedgelets one once again, but I don't know. It's unknown to me if they have like another configuration that's for flipper bots like Behemoth, for example.
They showed the configurations on the episode.
Yeah.
They were showing them to Jenny. I feel like they would use the wedgelets though.
Yeah, that's what I feel like they would go with, but of course I could be wrong, as they would have a lot more knowledge of what they would go with over me.
What configuration do you think Behemoth would use? You think he'd use like the
I feel like they would go with this.
I feel like
they would go with the same thing they used against Magnetar or Apollo, and like I know in Series 10 all they had was their low to the ground lifter and the plow that they used against Carbide.
That immediately lost because Nuts decided.
Oh, that was one of my parents' favorite moments in Robot Wars Series 10 was when one of the mini bots opened up the pit and Carbide hit Behemoth right onto the pit right as it was falling.
Just the Behemoth team getting so confused on what happened.
Yeah, they were so like their captain was just so confused, and then one of them noticed it was the mini bot that opened up the pit, and yeah, that was quite funny.
So you don't think that they'd use like the claw thing they used against Cherub?
I don't know if I really see them using the claw configuration. Like it didn't really work, and I think they retired it after it costed them their place in the Series 9 Heat final.
I'm just imagining like
use the claw in the first place.
I don't know. It was very impressive.
Well, they went with the claw. One of the things that noticed from that fight, they just underestimated Cherub. Like one thing you don't want to do is underestimate your, like they were talking about after their fight with Eruption, that they were bragging that Cherub just can't do anything to them, and just assuming that they would just come out unscathed. They could win. That fight would be like a gimme to that one. And so they came in with the claw configuration for that one as like a test thing.
Let's experiment with this.
Yeah, as like an experimental thing. But of course, Toby managed to help Cherub get the win on that one. And yeah, I feel like Behemoth would have won that fight, would have been able to win that fight if they didn't go with the claw configuration. If they went with their 100%. Low to the ground flipper.
I'm just picturing like that scene at Robot Wars where they determined it was Cherub who won the fight, and then the team leaders like walking away angry. Like I just picturing
So I think it was his team.
Guys in Black Dragon.
I think it was his team I think it was the team that convinced him to go with the claw configuration for that one. And then he was talking at the end of that one how that was a poor move on their part.
Like my teammates are fucking idiots. Like
oh man. Yeah,
just picturing that though, like only at Battlebots, and like the guys at Black Dragon are dancing around.
I was disappointed that they didn't come with Behemoth, because they were the team that came with Radioactive and Battlebots 2015. I was wondering why they didn't come with Behemoth for that one.
They tried, I heard. And Battlebots was like, no, that's a wedge. It's bad.
Like what?
Yeah, that's what I heard. And then they were like, come with this like hammer that doesn't work instead.
Something that is really unknown to me. I don't know if either of you two know it, but Aftershock tried to come to Battlebots for 2016, and I want to say 2018 as well. And got rejected.
They ripped off Endgame.
I was so surprised about that. Well, we will get to see Aftershock in the next fight card anyway, so
exciting.
Oh yeah. So how I think this fight would go if these two fought, I honestly could see this one going the full 3 minutes. Like if Behemoth went with like their low to the ground wedge for this one, as both bots have the durability. They are both overall very reliable, and I feel like this could be like a back and forth fight.
Yeah.
Yeah, both bots are very durable. They're very powerful with their weapons. They're both pretty aggressive.
Yeah, I would honestly love to see this fight, as I think this would be 3 minutes of pure entertainment if these two were thrown into the arena to fight each other.
Yeah. I feel like though Black Dragon will probably kill Behemoth. It's a classic robot, and it might be the first robot to enter the 4 decades club if it competes again, because I mean it's existed since the 90s now. So
Oh yeah.
But at the same time, it's like
Luckily though,
Black
Behemoth
Dragon
is one
badass.
of quite a few Robot Wars classic bots that aged very well. As
Yeah.
yeah, that bot was very much improved from what it was over in the classic series. Sadly though, they did have a lot of bad luck, and then of course that cherub moment in series 9, and luckily they finally made the grand final in series 10, and they looked very great that year, even though they lost to Eruption in the final 4 of that.
Made the finals, so I gotta give them
Yeah.
credit for that.
Oh yeah.
Definitely.
Gotta give them big credit for that. Is
Making the final four with the 20-year-old robot, like that ain't bad.
Yeah, they had a terrific season during that one.
I was really happy to see them beat Apollo. I love Apollo, but like seeing a classic Robot Wars bot finally make it to the grand final, that was great to see.
Yeah, I was hoping to see Apollo win that, because Apollo is my favorite robot in Robot Wars. But yeah, I gotta be happy for Behemoth. And that was a fantastic show between those two bots. All right, you guys got anything else you want to say about involving this fight, or should we vote on the main event?
I am ready to vote.
I'm ready to vote. Yeah.
I am gonna go with Behemoth by a judge's decision. I do think Black Dragon will be able to put Behemoth on the ropes, but I do still think that Behemoth will be able to overpower Black Dragon. And I do think this will be a split decision, but I do think Behemoth will win that decision.
Okay.
I think Black Dragon will win it by KO.
I think I'm going to go Black Dragon, but by a split decision. I feel like this fight is going to be relatively even between the two bots, as I think both of them will have a ton of big moments in this one. But knowing it would come down to damage, if these two were relatively even coming into a judge's decision and damage is worth the most, I think Black Dragon definitely has the better weapon for damage here. I think Black Dragon will win this because of that, but by a split judge's decision, I think yes, it will be very close here. I think Behemoth will put up a heck of a fight if these two were to ever meet, and even get a ton of moments, get a bunch of good flips on Black Dragon. And yeah, I think it will be very close if these two were to fight.
And then the Reddit will go to war over the decision.
Yeah. All right, so now that we have that done, you guys have anything else you want to say about this fight card?
Tornado did nothing wrong.
That's not the thing I expected you to say, to be honest.
Tombstone's gonna get a new job.
That's what I was thinking. Oh man, yeah. Okay, well, thank you for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed all the fun that the three of us had in here, and I hope to see you in the next video.